You're out there, Mark here, with another installment for you Fyreslayers players out there, from the 3rd edition battletome. So as you can hopefully see by the title, this is on about the command traits. Now, if you're following along at home, it is from page 58 in your battletome. Now, what I'm doing as well is I'm going to write down a little bit of a heads up of how you may want to use these abilities best going forward. So on each slide, if you do want to pause it, by all means, give it a read, screenshot it, anything like that. It's completely up to you. But without further ado, let's crack on. So, the command traits, you got Inheritance of Grimnir and Magmatic Empowerments. Inheritance is Rune Fathers and Rune Sons. Magmatic is Fyreslayer Priests. There are no, generic traits. They're only available in the core book. Keeps it nice and simple. But let's carry on. So you got Fury of the Fyreslayers. I like this one because it's nice and simple. Fyreslayers units wholly within 18 get +1 to their charge. Simple as that. Fyreslayers do want to get in on the fight on their terms, which is great. Now, when it comes to area of effect abilities, sounds obvious, bigger base you've got on your general, the better. So put this on a Magmatroff, Rune Father or Rune Son. You've got a bigger area of effect. But also, if you have it, like I've written there, going off on your Volkites, and your Volkites have got their horn in their unit, the horn gives them +1 to their charge. So you could have +2 to your charge just built in. Let alone then having the rune go off, because there's a rune, whereas +2 to your movement, if you get the enhanced ability go off, is +2 to your charge. You could, if the dice are in your favour, +4 to your charge. Not bad at all. Now, you've got Blood of the Berserker. Once per ability, after your general has fought, it can unleash their ability of fighting again. However, when they fight for the second time, they have the Strike Last ability. Okay, so do remember that. I would say don't waste this on a on-foot character. Don't waste it on an on-foot son or on-foot father, because the whole unit can fight again. Put it on your Rune Father that's on Magmadroth or your Rune Son, because the Magmadroth can fight as well. Okay? But do remember the second time they do fight last. So do time it well. Then you have the Spirit of Grimnir. I'm fairly partial to this one, but it can be very swingy. I do like my Urgold runes. So, Urgold runes, as I went over on episode 1, they are abilities that you set off each turn. You choose a different one. So, when you activate your Urgold rune, if your general is on the table, then you gain the enhanced effects on a 5-up, not a 6-up. So you're going from a 1 in 6 chance of getting, say, instead of just +2 movement, and the enhance is a +2 to your charge, you're getting it on a 1 in 3 chance, not a 1 in 6 chance. If you are very much wanting to rely on your runes a lot more and getting them going off, this could be beneficial. But do remember this is on a dice roll. Okay, you could roll subpar your game and not get a single enhance rolled off. Or you could roll really hot and get every single one off. Play it to your heart's content and see what happens. Then you got Leader of, I'm not going to butcher that, Leader of the Dwarves. Alright, so while your general is on the table, all Dwarden allies are treated as having the Fyreslayer keyword for the purpose of your Urgold rune battle trait. So this does not allow your non-Fyreslayer heroes to use the new heroic action though, which the heroic action is Blaze of Fury, okay? But it does allow your Dwarden ally units, like your Hammers, your Iron Drakes, your Longbeards, your rune lords and your Kharadron overlords to benefit from the runes, which is great. +2 movement to your longbeards or whatever. It's great. 6 is the wound, mortal wounds, stuff like that. But I think the biggest benefit is go track. Okay, you give him extra movement at the beginning. You give him extra rend. You give him mortal wound dealing out. It's great. And this is not on a roll. This is just great if you're using allies. If you've got no allies in the army, obviously you don't need this trait. But if you are running a fair few allies in, it could be very, very useful. Now, if we go over to empowerments for your priests, these are quite interesting. Okay, you may want to take your priest as a general. Now, the first one, Ashbeard, you can have a second prayer from the blessing, but you can't chant any more. I just want to make sure I got that right. Yeah, so you know 2 blessings instead of 1. Put that on your rune smiter. Could be quite useful. You could have Prayer of Ash and Emberstorm. Not bad. Only downside is Rune Master knows all the prayers from the Zagrim blessings. Alright? But if you don't want to have the Rune Master, maybe, you know, completely your call. However, the one I think is a bit of a standout, okay, at this moment in time, is the Master Priest. Now, you can activate an gold extra once per game, okay? So, how I word that, I butchered that, I do apologise, but you can activate an gold rune once more, okay? You can't activate all the rune golds continuously, but one of them you can activate twice. So if you want to activate the movement gold twice in 2 separate turns, you can do it. That's actually really good. Okay, I genuinely do like that one. Now, thirdly, you got Avatar of Volcatrix. This is quite fluffy and cool. When the general dies, you set up a Molten Inferno on the table, and it doesn't cost you any points within 6 inches of the model. The normal rules then apply, that it moves, it causes mortal wounds, the usual things that invocation does. And you don't need to chant it. Great. The issue is a warlord trait that you have to have your warlord die to have it go off. Now, there is a grand stratagem of bringing out an invocation on your last turn. You could try and kind of cheese it with that, but personally, a warlord trait shouldn't be your warlord dies and then you get a benefit. Just from my personal opinion. You know, your mileage may vary. But in all fairness, I think this one is a little bit of a no-go for me. But it is cool. It is genuinely cool. If you have this, you know, Rune Master, you know, supporting your guys and he gets sniped out, you then have an Inferno just run around causing mortal wounds. Alright? But that's it. I do hope this has been informative. I know it's a bit of a shorter video, but I do want to keep these videos quite short and sweet. Now, there has been great support with the previous video. Hope there will be great support with this one. As always, any questions or any experience, please comment down below. I'd love to read them and see what you think. And if you know of anyone that's wanted to get into Fyreslayers, you know, I'd be very grateful if you want to point them in this direction. And if you haven't already, like, comment and subscribe, please do. All content links and everything are down in the description. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and thank you for swinging on by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.